Blessed are those who come in the name of the Lord, looking out at this extraordinary crowd. We're all grateful to Rabbi Vinny Krause, Rabbi Chaim Steinmetz, to all the wonderful heads of schools, Jeff Cobrin and others who have joined us. And as I look at each of you, I ask that every single person here be focused, as this is a memorial gathering. And I'm reminded of the sentence from Yeshayahu, V'nahar nohegotam, that redemption and geula will come through the young. This is your time, and you feel the pain, and you feel the angst. Ruchim atem, may you be blessed in your coming and going, and continue to speak out. Ba'am Yisrael, Torah Yisrael, and Medinat Yisrael. There are many people who have said that Ari Fuld went down fighting. We are gathered here to say no. Ari Fuld did not go down. Ari Fuld went up. Although he was mortally stabbed and wounded, rather than fall to the ground, with all of his strength, he stood up, and you could see the video. He was wobbling when he hit the wall, and he took a shooting posture and neutralized the terrorist, and in the process saved many lives. Friends, dear friends, Ari Fuld did not go down fighting. He went up fighting. We stand here just a few miles north of the World Trade Center, where thousands of American citizens were murdered in cold blood. Ari Fuld was murdered because he was a Jew, but he was also murdered because he was an American. The terrorist was looking for an American. And every time I think of money going to the families of that terrorist, I think of the pasuk from the Torah, Kol today, Ari tzoakim elai. The voice of Ari's blood cry out to me. And people of moral conscience, Jew, Christian, Muslim, must raise a voice of protest to fund families of a terrorist who murdered is despicable. It's a moral, ethical outrage. Kol Demei Ari Tzoakim Elai. Kol Demei Ezra Schwartz Tzoakim Elai. Kol Demei Kim Ashkenazi Tzoakim Elai. And above all, we are here to tell Ari's family 30 days after the Hara, Anachnu Odim Itchem, join me, Chevra. Anachnu Odim Itchem. We say to you, Hamakom Yinachem Etchem. We say to Ari's siblings, Dani, Moshe, Hillel, and Eitan, to Ari's parents, Rabbi Yonah Fuld, who served as principal of SAR, and his dear wife Mary, Ari's mother. We say to the 4 children of Ari, Tamar, Naomi, Yakir, Natan. Look out! See the crowds! Young people your age are standing with you. Achrona, achrona, chaviva, we turn to Ari's wife, Miriam. And from the depths of our hearts, we declare, we are with you. And I look up, I see Degel Yisrael on top of the Consul General's office. I look up to the heavens, and I say to you, Ari Fuld, you lived like a lion, and you gave your life as a lion, like an Ari. And not only did you live and die as an Ari, but your name is a composite of Or Hashem. May your light of loving Medinat Israel and Sion and Torah Israel, may your light forever emanate from Metula to Eilat, from the Mediterranean until Emek HaYarden, in Tel Aviv, in Yerushalayim, in Kibbutzim, in Moshavim, throughout Medinat Israel and throughout the world. May your light spill out, may it emanate, and in a world of darkness, may your light push out the darkness. It is a light of Am Yisrael, Chai v'Yichyeh. That is your legacy. Chevra, join me. Oh, Davinu, Chai, join me. Oh, Davinu, Chai. Oh, Davinu, Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael. Chevra, everyone. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael. Oh, Davinu, 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 Friends, we are represented, Israel is represented in New York by a great consul general. Not only a consul general of brilliance of mind, but depths of heart and of soul, who lives and breathes Am Yisrael and Medinat Israel. Friends, I give you the consul general of the state of Israel here in New York, the Honorable Danny Dayan.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Weiss, Rabbi Steinmetz, the other Rabbanim, and first and foremost you that came here to show solidarity and to honor the memory of Ari Fuld. People ask, I read in newspapers here, there, in Israel, in the United States, Ari was Israeli, Ari was American, Ari was an Israeli American, an American Israeli. Ari Fuld was first and foremost Yehudi. Ari Fuld was first and foremost a Jew. And he lived as a Jew, and he died as a Jew. And Ari was not just a Jew, he was a Jew in the best tradition of the Maccabim. A Jew that lives with and demand respect for the honor of the Jewish people, a Jew that lives in order to demand freedom for the Jewish people, a Jew that lives in order to make sure that the Jewish places in the entire Eretz Israel, in the entire land of Israel, are free for Jews to gather and to visit and to pray. A Jew that when he sees another Jew, a fellow Jew in mortal danger, even in the last moment of his life, he acts as a Gibor Yehudi, as a Jewish hero. That was Ari Fuld, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. The Fuld family decided a few decades ago that they want to cease to be spectators in the greatest adventure of the Jewish people in the last 2,000 years, and to become protagonists. To become protagonists in Yerushalayim, and to become protagonists in Etzman, and to become protagonists all over Eretz Israel. And when you are a protagonist in an adventure such amazing as the rebirth of Jewish sovereignty in Eretz Israel, there are prices to pay. And sometimes those prices are heavy. And there are those that say that we must pay those prices because the Jewish people has no other choice. I beg to differ. We have choices. Israel didn't exist 71 years ago. The Zionist movement didn't exist 130 years ago. There were choices. But we are ready to pay prices because we want to be in Eretz Israel. It's not because we don't have other choices, because we have a mission. And that mission is to reconstruct, to rebuild the Jewish sovereignty in Eretz Israel. And for that mission, even though we do have choices, for that mission we are ready to pay the prices that the fulfillment of that holy mission requires. I want to conclude by saying that Ari, in his final moments, in his actions, in his final moments, but no less than that, in his actions during the more than 4 decades of his life, will give us forever inspiration. Most of us did not know Ari personally. Today, each one of us has an intimate acquaintance with Ari Fuld. And that is an acquaintance that inspires us, that educates us, and more important, orders us to keep going in his path, to keep going in his way, to keep acting in his mission until the Geulah Shlema. Thank you so much for joining us in front of the representation of the Israel, this state of Israel, to show solidarity with Israel, to show respect to Gibor Israel, Ari Fuld, and to show your love for Am Israel, for Eretz Israel, for Medinat Israel. תודה רבה לכל אחד ואחת.
Thank you to the students from Westchester Day School, Ramaz, North Shore Hebrew Academy, SAR Academy, and SAR High School, Kinneret Day School, for being here today. And dear Consul General, it's an honor to us, and I know meaningful to the family, that you came down to address us today. I grew up with Ari Fuld. I spent every Shabbat in his home, with his brothers Moshe, Donnie, Hillel, and Eitan. His parents, Rabbi Yonah and Mary, were and are my teachers, my principal, my role models. My connection to Medinat Israel comes largely from Ari's family. We remained connected even after their Aliyah, and they celebrated their 25th anniversary of their Aliyah as a family this past summer. When I was a day school student, we would often gather on these streets, usually led by Rabbi Avi Weiss, to raise our voices for the Jewish people. Soviet Jews were not allowed to emigrate, for Israel to be treated fairly whenever there were Jews in need, around the world. 2018 feels somewhat different. Israel is strong. Judaism is thriving in places where it was long dormant. But today, we took out time to remember that those freedoms and that strength don't come by themselves. Come through sacrifice, courage, heroism, and pain. Ari Fuld spoke out to defend the state of Israel. Ari Fuld fought for the state of Israel much longer than he was obligated to. And Ari Fuld, as we now know, used his very last breath to save others. What a model for the students who are here and the students around the country and around the world who are thinking of him. To Ari's family, we are here to share in your pain and to express appreciation for Ari. He and you represent all that we value in our day school. Connecting to Medinat Israel, fighting for things we believe in, defending those who are unable to defend themselves, treating people, even those we disagree with respect, and speaking out when we see something wrong. In his 8th grade SAR yearbook, Ari chose the Mishnah, Ratz Katzvi, Gibor Ka'ari, La'asot Ritzon Avicha Shabashamayim. For his yearbook quote, Ari was Ratz Katzvi. Ari went down or went up, as we heard, Gibor Ka'ari, to live a life that was full of running, teaching, and doing. Ritzon Avicha Sheba Shamayim. Yehi Zichro Baruch. I'd like to ask Emily Abraham, a student from Ramaz, to address us.
Good afternoon. My name is Emily Abraham, and I'm a senior at the Ramaz Upper School. Although I did not have the privilege of knowing Ari Fuld, Zichrono Livracha, I was inspired when the rabbi of my shul, the Hebrew Institute of Riverdale, taught us on Yom Kippur about Ari's courage, heroism, and absolute love for Israel and the Jewish people. Next year, I am going to IBM. My love for Israel and the Jewish people motivated me to make this decision. Learning about the life of Ari Fuld reaffirmed for me the importance of this decision. Ari Fuld made Aliyah with his family in 1994. He was a sergeant in an elite paratrooper unit in Tzahal. He was also a member of the experince emergency response team. Ari devoted his life to Torah, to the state of Israel, and to his fellow Jews. Ari taught karate to hundreds of children. He took solidarity trips to communities near the Gaza border in times of unrest. And when a rocket fell near kindergarten, he instinctively brought cupcakes to the community that same day. As assistant director of Staying Together, he showed overwhelming support and appreciation for Israeli soldiers, bringing them care packages. Anyone can deliver a care package, but Ari brought care to his fellow soldiers. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Ari Fuld proudly and courageously let the world know where he stood. He never withdrew from a challenge, whether it was energetic support for Israel as a Hayal, as a Marvis Torah, and as a leader of his community. Ultimately, he knew where he stood. This courage allowed him to pursue a terrorist while fatally injured, preventing others from being injured or killed. Like so many heroes, he ran towards danger, not away from it. Ari Fuld is an inspiration to me as a proud Jew who loves and supports Medinat Israel and who will soon begin my own service on behalf of Khalil Israel. Standing on the threshold of this new chapter of my life will be difficult and daunting for me. I hope to draw inspiration from Ari's courage, strength, and resilience. May we all continue to strive to emulate and be inspired by Ari Fuld's character, courage, and love for Am Yisrael, Medinat Israel, and Torah Israel. Thank you, and may memory be blessed. Yehi Zichro Baruch.
We ask Sivi Richter, 8th grade SAR student, to read a poem written by Tamar Fuld.
It is, was, and will, by Tamar Fuld, the daughter of Ari Fuld, the Chrono Levracha. You know why I don't like to remember? Because that means it's stuck in the past. What happened last September means only the memories will last. What was can't help because we are what is. I only know what fell and what I have to miss. I don't want to remember, I want to have it now. So I don't have to go to last September to remember how. I want to be hurt, so the pain won't go away. I don't want time to heal, I don't want to be okay. I want to feel it now, in the present here. I don't want to remember, I want to have it near. That way, it won't be was. It will be what is, and will be the thing I always miss.
Students from the West Shore Hebrew Academy, Rebecca Kalimi and Julia Hatchbai, will lead us in Tehillim Kuf Chaf Aleph.
A song to that effect. I raise my eyes to the mountain. Whence will come my help? My help is from Hashem, maker of heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to fall. The guardian will not fail. He will neither slumber nor sleep. The guardian of Israel. Hashem is your guardian. Hashem is your shade at your right hand. By day, the sun will not harm you, nor moon by night. Hashem will protect you from every evil. He will guard your soul. Hashem will guard your departure and your arrival, from this time and not forever.
Rabbi Ari Fuld is deeply appreciative that we're all here today, and we ask him to address us by audio. Please listen to his words.
Thank you to all of you who pay respect to the memory of our beloved son, Ari Hashem from Nemo. To those who organized the assemblies and to all the schools and individuals who agreed to participate, we express our thanks. Our special gratitude to Rabbi Weiss and to Rabbi Krauss, who upon hearing the news immediately boarded a plane and spent many hours with our family. There's been a tremendous outpouring of compassion and love from the entire world, and for that we are deeply grateful. But I would like to share with you just two of the myriad of lessons that I and all of us can learn from the life of Ari Zal. Firstly, the very fact that he reached out and touched the lives of so many thousands of people in his short lifetime is of paramount significance. Just one example, there have been at least 5 babies that we know of, including one in the Ukraine, that have been named Ari in this short period of time. Never again can we think, what can I do? Never again can we allow ourselves to say, but I am only one person. Through his use of social media, through his teaching of Torah, of karate, through his constant quest for truth, his respect for all people, even his adversaries, he labored tirelessly for his people and Medinat Yisrael. If we are to take his message to heart, we all have to work just that much harder for what really counts in life. And secondly, I believe that Ari reminded us of another very special lesson. You know, our previous generations came from a terribly different reality. My parents escaped from Germany shortly after Kristallnacht. My mother-in-law, who was Ari's hero in life, survived the selection in front of Mengele in Machshelo and survived a year in Auschwitz. So many others did not survive, and we know never how their lives ended. As of 1948, there's a new reality. Jewish blood would no longer be cheap. For the first time in 2,000 years, we would have an army, Tzahal, and would fight back. Ari lived every fiber of his being with this reality. He continued to enlist in a crack paratroop unit, even though he was 45 years old and no longer obligated to be on active duty. He served on the Kitat Konanut of his beloved Efrat community and was the first to respond day and night to any call. He was a hero all the days of his life, but always with a sense of mission, with a safer in his hand, and with understanding of why we are here. I know that this is again a call for all of us to continue in his path and labor for our people and for our precious land. Please never forget for a moment that for Jews, this is the best time for our people in 2,000 years. Hopefully, you will all remember Ari and his bravery. Your voice, like Ari's, will be heard and counted in the defense of our people. You will stand up and do your best for Am Yisrael. And maybe many of you will join us here. But in any case, you will continue to do whatever possible to support our nation and our country. Thank you very much.
My name is Maggie Steinhaus, and I am a student at Westchester Day School. My name is Maggie Steinhaus, and I'm a student at Westchester Day School. My words are written by Ari Fuld. How are you? No one really thinks about this question when they ask it. It is a simple question, a universal greeting. But now, it is a question I'd rather not answer. It is a question I do not want to think about for at least a little bit longer. How do I describe half a heart? How do I explain that he is in every breath I take, in every step I take? He is everywhere I look. People ask if we knew how far and why he reached. I think we did. He was so proud to show us how many people liked his post, or who commented, who shared. That was his pride, to spread the truth as far as possible, to fight for what he truly believed in. It has been 2 weeks since Ari was murdered, and we still expect him to just walk through the front door. We are strong. The world keeps turning, so we have no choice but to be strong. And life goes on, and this incredible void has not been filled. Because Ari is still larger than life.
I'm Rabbi Chaim Steinmetz of Congregation Kehillat Jeshurun. You have already heard such remarkably eloquent words, and truth is that there are no words that are equal to the tragedy that we are describing of a 45-year-old son, brother, husband, and father being murdered in the prime of his life. I come now not because I can describe this tragedy any further. I come here to speak to you, the students. Students, I want to just tell you a few truths. I know that your minds may be wandering now. Please, just listen for a moment, because these truths are important. The first truth is that Ari was murdered. It was a cold-blooded murder. His murderer stayed at close range, stalked him, and stabbed him. Now you may say, well, of course it's a murder. But there are those who may turn and blame Ari for what happened to him. They turn and they blame the victim. And the important lesson here today is that Ari was murdered. He was murdered because he was a Jew. And those who rationalize or cheer on the murder are implicit in the murder themselves. The second truth you need to know is that those who paid for the murder have blood on their hands. When the Palestinian Authority was asked whether or not they're going to be paying a monthly pension to the murderer, they said they can't confirm or deny, but they are proud to pay people like this murderer. Those who paid for the murder have blood on their hands. That is a truth that you need to know, and you need to know now. The next truth you need to know is that Ari was a hero. You've heard this in all of the speeches that have already been said. First of all, he's not just a hero because he turned around and saved multiple lives by, in the last moments of his life, shooting his assailant. It's not only because he was an incredible mensch. In fact, one thing that came out on Twitter was that there was an Arab family that on the Friday after Ari was murdered said to people that Ari had come in every Friday and bought them groceries for the weekend because they were too poor to pay for it themselves. That was the type of person that Ari was. But he's not only a hero because of that, it's because of the work that he did for the soldiers of the IDF in standing together. It's because he was absolutely committed to Torah Yisrael, Am Yisrael, and Medinat Yisrael. And you heard that in every one of these speeches, the type of person that Ari was. One of the truths you need to walk away from today is to know who Ari was and that he was a gibar, he was a hero. So we come to grieve for Ari. That is our responsibility. As Jews, we don't only see ourselves as the people, we see ourselves as a family. And Ari is our brother. And not only do we come to grieve for him, and this is the final truth, we come to stand by his family, we come to stand by the people of Israel. Our job as Jews is to take care of our family and to stand by each other. We say, Kol Yisrael Aredim Zeh B'Zeh. We are responsible for each other, and we need to take care of each other. And the final truth that goes with that sense of responsibility is if we take care of each other, if we stand up for what is true, we will forever be able to say, Am Yisrael Chai.
My name is Stephen Exler. I'm one of the rabbis at the Hebrew Institute of Riverdale at the Bayit, and looking out at hundreds and hundreds of students and adults, I want to ask you for a moment, the way we honor Ari is to stand proud in his memory. So if you're holding a sign, if you're holding a flag, lift it all the way up, and look around at how we remember Ari, how we honor Ari, how we show our love for Ari and everything he stood for. Ari loved kids. He loved to coach them. He loved to mentor them. He loved to teach them to stand up for themselves, to defend themselves, and to find each and every one of our voices to help make Medinat Yisrael the place it needs to be for Am Yisrael and the whole world. And Ari loved to learn, and Ari loved to daven. So I'm going to recite and invite you to join me in reciting the beginning and the end of Tfilah Lishlom HaMedina, perhaps the prayer that might have been closest to Ari's heart, the prayer for the welfare of Medinat Yisrael, the prayer for Chayalei Tzahal, whom he gave his life in living and in death for, the prayer that we all find our way home, like his family did, to Medinat Yisrael, and the prayer that we learn and daven and make the world a better place and defend ourselves and find our voices and speak up for Medinat Yisrael. Please join with me. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Hagein aleha be'evrat chasdecha, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך ועמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנם בעצה טובה מלפניך. Please join me. חזק את ידי מגיני ארץ קודשנו, והנחילם אלוהינו ישועה, ועטרת ניצחון תעטרם, ונתת שלום בארץ, ושמחת עולם ליושביה. And from the end, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראת שמך, ולשמור את כל דברי תורתך, ושלח לנו מהרה בן דוד משיח צדקך, לפדות מחכה קץ ישועתך, as we wait for and as we bring the salvation, a world in which Ari's memory reigns supreme and his values do, a world in which all recognize God as King and live in peace. V'hofa v'hadar ga'onuzecha, על כל יושבי תבל ארצך, ויאמר כל אשר נשמה ביפו, אדוני אלוהי ישראל מלך, מלכותו בכל משלה, אמן סבא.
Chevra, in the last moments of this phase, let's pause just for a moment of hitbodedut. In the middle of all the noise of Manhattan, New York City, I ask everyone for a few seconds, let's close our eyes, look deeply into our souls, and let us think of Ari. And let us make a commitment that we, in our own way, in our own unique way, will live by his ideals, what he lived for and what he died for. Let's pause, close our eyes for a few of those seconds of deep, introspective hitbodedut and tefillah. And friends, standing here, I will call out several names. After every name, I'd like everyone, from up here to the back, to call out, Am Yisrael Chai. The enemy may have thought he struck us down, but we will rise up as Ari did, stronger than ever. In that very spot where Ari Fuld was murdered in Summit HaGush, I called out the name of a student on his gap year, murdered in cold blood. And after I called out his name, I asked that everyone respond, Am Yisrael Chai. Ezra Schwartz. Am Yisrael Chai. I call out the name of the 3 boys kidnapped right near that spot. Ayal. Am Yisrael Chai. Gilad. Am Yisrael Chai. Naftali. Am Yisrael Chai. Rabbi Yaakov Dan. Am Yisrael Chai. King Yechezkel. Am Yisrael Chai. Ziv Hachmi. Am Yisrael Chai. We will sing Hatikvah, and after singing Hatikvah, listen closely. With New York City, please help. And we thank New York City's finest. And we all thank Shuli and Hillary and Jennifer, who really prepared the logistics of this rally, without whom we could never be here today. So, Chevra, you've been wonderful. Every moment of this rally will be heard by the family. And if they hear my voice, please know we're one with you. We can never understand your pain and suffering, but we are one with you. May you forever be blessed. After Hatikvah, we're going to turn around. We will cross 43rd Street, cross 2nd Avenue on 43rd Street. This is 2nd Avenue. We will walk 1 block to the United Nations and then walk down the steps to the Isaiah Wall. And we're doing this for just a few moments because the United Nations said nothing after Ari was murdered, to their shame. And so we will remind them of what they have forgotten. Again, we'll about face, cross 2nd Avenue on 43rd Street, walk 1 block singing Am Yisrael Chai, then walk down the steps. We'll be on the steps in front of the wall, and there we will sing God Bless America and a few final words. Hatikvah. One last word. If everybody can look here for a moment. I have a request from all of you, something that is in your hearts and souls. I want to bless you. Go out there. Serve Am Yisrael. Serve Medinat Yisrael. Consider joining Tzva Haganah Yisrael. I see my grandson Eitan here, who served in Israel's Air Force. It's your time. Go out there. Impact Am Yisrael and Medinat Yisrael and Tzva Haganah Yisrael. Go out there. Don't allow yourself to only be served. Go out there and serve, and change the world. Let's join in Am Yisrael Chai, cross the street to the United Nations. Otavinu Chai, Otavinu
Am Yisrael, 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 Yisroel, Am Yisroel, Am Yisroel, Am Yisroel,